It's an honor to be here in the city of dreams, New York City, my favorite place in the world, besides my home state of Rhode Island, of course. And we are here to talk about an event that is quite possibly one of the biggest sporting events in the world. And it's an honor for me to be running and competing in the New York City Marathon. We're just days away from the marathon taking place. It's in all 5 boroughs. We start in Staten Island, over the Verrazano Bridge, going into Queens, and then eventually you're going to hit the Queensboro Bridge, mile 16, which is one of the toughest parts of the race, they say, brings you into Manhattan. Then you go to the Bronx, and then you end on 5th Avenue, also Central Park, and of course, Columbus Circle. That will be a dream come true, 26.2 miles, and the training has just been amazing. So, as I told you, I played professional tennis growing up. I was a late bloomer. I played at Rutgers University, Division I, also on the Pro Tour. Coming from the smallest state in the country, Rhode Island, not many people expected me to be a great tennis player, but it ended up working out. Now I'm 40 years old, and it's a little hard to still stay on the pro tennis tour. And 3.5 months ago, I didn't even think I could walk that much because of an Achilles injury. There was no way I was going to run in a marathon, but I got lucky. The Project Purple charity gave me one of their spots. The waiting list is like a year or 2 to get into the New York City Marathon. Everyone wants to compete. It's one of the biggest events in the world and also in New York. And I was able to get in, but you have to raise thousands of dollars for charity. So they told me I was going to get in, and I could barely walk because of my Achilles injury. And I said, if I can finish, you have to finish the race within 7 or 8 hours to get a medal. If you don't finish, you don't get the medal, which is heartbreaking. So I was like, do I want to do this? Can I even run 1 mile? I really didn't think I could run 1 or 2 miles 3 months ago. I ran 1 became 2, went to a couple physical therapists. Now all of a sudden, I'm running 14, 15, 20 miles. I'm ready for the race, and it's really a story of inspiration, honestly. To genuinely not be able to walk, 3 months ago because of an Achilles and barely walk from my car to a restaurant, to be able to run 26 miles is something I really didn't even think I could do. After playing Division I sports, professional sports, this would be up there with one of the greatest accomplishments, and it's all because of the inspiration of New York City, how much we love the city and really the people, and also raising money for Project Purple, which is for pancreatic cancer research, which is something very dear to me to try to help people. But really, in the end of the day, it's the people of New York, the electricity of the city, the honor of being in this race, and that's why I'm doing it, and just the human spirit to be able to show people that anything is possible. So it really would have been a dream even to walk the marathon, and many people wondered if I could even do that. They knew I was a great athlete, but if I could really go about running the 26.2 miles. The reason I fell in love with this race was 10 years ago. Meb Kavleski, who's a former New York City Marathon champion, former Boston Marathon champion, one of the greatest marathon runners in the history of America, I was doing his TV show, which happened to be a New York City Marathon preview when I was anchoring sports for NBC Sports here in the city. And I fell in love with the race. I could not believe the excitement, the unity, just everything, giving back to the community. And I just imagined, could I ever compete in this race? Could I ever walk or run 26 miles? Meb ended up winning the New York City Marathon. And for many, many years, it inspired me. And I would walk 10 miles, I'd run a mile, and I'd say, should I sign up? Can I do it? So when I finally got the opportunity, really a lucky break to get into this year's race with 3 months to spare, I didn't want to miss the opportunity. And just the training every single day, waking up early, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, doing the marathon program, running 20 miles to 35 miles a week, doing it in the rain, doing it in the cold weather, also doing it in the Miami heat, which was, my second home is Miami, and training in the summer there was brutal, harder than any tennis match I've ever played on the Pro Tour. Running in the Miami heat was absolutely brutal. But every single step of the way, I thought about the people of New York, I thought about the race, thought about helping the people with pancreatic cancer and just the community. So that's what's going to be pushing me. You have to finish within about 7 or 8 hours to get the finisher's medal, which is really coveted. I'm hoping I could do it within 5. Some people are wondering even faster, but regardless, health is wealth. So you can't really celebrate until you finish the 26.2 miles. It's an honor to be doing this race, and definitely not going to let you down, not going to let any of the fans down from Rhode Island, from Miami, from New York, New Jersey, Rutgers University, and really all over the world. And in the end of the day, if I finish, when I finish, it's going to be for you to know that anything is possible. Of course, I've had a couple people who follow me in tennis say, Harry, you'll never finish. You're not going to do it. So once we finish, again, it's proving that no matter what, anything is possible. So we are going to be fine, but it is all about the training. If anyone ever wants to compete in a marathon, you have to run at least 4 to 5 days a week minimum. You have to be sure to listen to your body, take care of your body, and you really want to be hitting, you know, the 20 to 30 mile a week pace. You never want to go above 20 miles when you're training for a marathon, especially in the first, 5 to 6 weeks. So you want to stick to a marathon training regimen. It started with me just doing 3 miles a day, 5 days a week. And then the next week I did 3 miles, and then I added 1 extra mile. And always try to add an extra mile. When you're tired, add 1 more mile. And that was really the key for me. And I have a coach, a mentor, Carlos Silva, who's done 12 Ironmans, which is biking, swimming, and a marathon all in one. He's also a former pro tennis player. And Carlos has been mentoring me the whole way. You need a mentor. That is so important when you're running a marathon. And he said, Harry, whenever you're tired, run 1 more mile, because in the marathon, you're going to be tired. Doesn't matter if you're Carlos or Meb Kavleski or an Olympian, you're going to hit that wall, you know, especially when you hit the Queensboro Bridge, mile 16, it's uphill for a mile. Most people just want to stop. And that's why when you're in practice and you don't want to do the extra mile, do 1 extra. And that's what I've done. So once again, it started with 3 miles in the heat of Rhode Island in the summer and New Jersey in the summer and Miami. Those 3 miles became 4, became 5. Once during the US Open, which was September, about almost 2 months ago now, during the US Open, I did my first 10-mile run. I couldn't believe it. I was like, did I just do 10 miles? And I was ready for more. And then the next time I did 11, 12, and now we're ready for 26.2. So really, I genuinely mean this. 3 months ago, I could not do 1 mile. And now we're ready, as you can see, for 26.2. So get a mentor, get a coach, listen to your body, do the nutrition. Never be scared. Never think that you can't do it, because I'm 100% positive you can do it. It starts with walking a mile, starts with running 1, that will become 2, and the body's magical. And as one of my other mentors told me, Scott Lang, who's run this marathon many times and used to work for the New York Road Runners, which is the event, the head of the event, he said, Harry, your legs will get you there. So don't worry. You think you're tired, you think you can't do 26.2, your legs will get you there. So it's all up here and it's all here. So for those who have run New York, we all know the Queensboro Bridge, mile 16, is the crossroads. Once you get over the Queensboro Bridge, you're in Manhattan for a number of miles with thousands of fans cheering for you. So I'm just really going to try to get to Queensboro, have enough juice to finish strong in the Bronx and then Central Park. So wish me luck. I'm doing it for you, New York, and of course the United States, my beloved country. And it's an honor to be doing it. Health is wealth. And let's have a good race. Here are 6 total tips for a marathon, physical and mental. We're going to start with the mental. Number 1, never forget that you can do it. Anything is possible. When I first started running, I could barely run 1 mile. Now I'm ready for 26.2. So don't give up. Also, mental. Be sure to eat properly. If you eat well, you'll feel better and your mind will believe that anything's possible. My final advice on the mental, run in tough conditions. I was running in the heat of Miami, the hottest summer weather. Being able to do 4 or 5 miles got me ready for 12 miles in New York once the weather was a little cooler in the fall here in New York. So I really feel like running in the rain, the heat, in the morning, tough conditions is very important. Physical, the most important thing for me, since I've had an Achilles injury due to tennis, is the equipment. I want to definitely thank Nike, no plug, but genuinely, these shoes have changed my life, changed my career. By using these shoes, it's allowed me to run even with a bad Achilles. So I think the equipment is very important physically. Also, start small and build up. Marathon training is about 16 weeks on the whole. Your first week, you might be doing 3 miles a day for 4 or 5 days. Don't be scared to take a day off. Days off are part of the training. You need your body to get stronger. You need your body to rest. So that's number 2. And number 3, physical, go for it that extra mile. If you're tired, don't be scared to go 1 extra mile, because in a marathon, 26.2 miles, you're going to be tired. When you hit mile 20, it's going to be tough. So you have to go back mentally to when you were training and you went that extra mile. So that 1 extra mile during training could make the difference of finishing the 26.2. That's it. I'm Harry Cicma, and we'll see you at the New York City Marathon.